Hey everybody, it's me again. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire Podcast, episode 9. And at this point, I would be introducing Luke and Liam, but they are not here today because it's just me. It is also currently midday. Usually we record at 8 or 9 p.m. on Fridays. But it is midday, and it's just me. And I don't want to say this right now, but there's currently a class going on. Don't let anyone figure that out. So I'm going to try my best. You know, I had to do multiple takes of this. People don't realize this, but at least this is how I do it. People do multiple takes of podcasts. You think, like, that's just the finished take. The final video, that's one take magic. And usually it is, but sometimes things just don't go right, and you gotta do it again. Because if you fuck up an intro, like, that's it. You can't keep going after you fuck up an intro. You can't just be like, and then like be like, oh, so blah blah blah. No, that's not how it works. So I got interrupted many times trying to do this intro, and this is like the 4th take, I think. Probably because I'm doing this in midday. And who knows, there might be more interruptions throughout this, I don't know, like 30 minute episode, depending on how long it goes. But it's a game. It's a game. It's a gamble for me. My whole life's a gamble. But yeah, Luke and Liam aren't here. It's just me. I thought I would do my own podcast with just me, and because for 2 reasons. I was recently watching the Crystalia podcast, and that's really good. I don't need to fucking advertise that. It's got enough fucking views, man. But it's really good. Hold on. The podcast is really good, and I was thinking to myself, how do you do a podcast with just one guy? Well, the answer is you got to be really good at talking, and it's up for debate. I'm never one to like be narcissistic and like rate myself. I always wait for people to I always wait for people to give their opinions on me before I can give an opinion on myself. I know my friends would be like, "Oh, I beg to differ. You're a fucking little narcissistic bitch." Well, yeah, that's how I am on the outside, but on the inside, I wait for other people to see what they think about me, so then I can make an opinion about myself. And I think that's how most people do it. I don't know. Am I crazy? I think that's just how most people do that. But for the singular podcast, I'm pretty much the loudest one in episode 8, to nobody's fault really, but there's a lot of factors that go into making these episodes. I'm not trying to make excuses or nothing. You know, if it's shit, it's shit, you know what I'm saying? Liam just has to get a microphone. This kid just uses his fucking laptop microphone, which is not the best microphone for podcasting if you don't know. And Luke tries his best, but he does not come prepared. He never comes prepared. You might think he does come prepared, but he just walks in and he just wings it. And, you know, he does a good job of winging it. Don't get me wrong, he does a fucking fantastic job of winging it, but he should come with at least like 1 or 2 topics. This is not the venting podcast. I'm going to talk about some things that I want to talk about. And yeah. But before we get into it, I just want to say that the podcast editing episode 8, you might have noticed that like the audio was like a little, you know, all over the place, and that's nobody's fault really. I just think most of the episodes, the audio have been like out of place because, let's be real, we're all 17. We don't know what we're doing. This is just a little thing that we wanted to do. We're not making any money off of it, obviously. But I think the mere fact that we're just doing this is fucking amazing, because I'm a lazy motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And the mere fact that we just keep doing it consistently too. Consistently every other week we keep pumping out episodes, and I'm proud of all of us for that. Because episode 1, let me talk about episode 1 for a minute. It was completely just like off the wall, just winged. That whole episode was a fluke, really. Like, it was episode 1, and it was in July of 2020, and I was using my fucking phone as a microphone, and and the audio was crap, and we didn't have much to talk about. It was very archaic. It was very primal. I think I've gotten better at that. There was like no script. I stole a couple jokes from some YouTubers that I watched at the time. But overall, I think the episode went pretty well for what it was. It was a complete and utter fluke. I don't know how there was no dead air. That final cut. Usually when I'm editing a podcast, there's gonna be like some moments where we just like don't have anything to talk about, and we have to like look at a topic to go to something else. So I just cut that dead air out. I know that's like one of the quirks of a podcast that make it more human, but I don't like it. Maybe if we do like an episode where it's our faces, where we show our faces, maybe then I'll leave the dead air in, because it'll look weird, right? But for right now, we don't show our faces, and it's just gameplay, so it doesn't even matter. And my philosophy for podcasts is I want to make it enjoyable for listeners and viewers, because one of my main problems with watching podcasts on YouTube is just that I love podcasts, but they get boring, right? Not that the dialogue gets boring or anything. It's just that I want to like do something else while I'm listening to a podcast. And usually have a podcast up when I'm like driving or I'm like doing something. But like if I'm watching it on YouTube, I just have all this other shit. And if I click on another video or if I exit the app, the video's just gonna stop, right? We haven't got on Spotify or anything. We should. But for right now, we're not on Spotify, so I tried my best to make it both a listening and a viewing experience. If you haven't noticed, if you've watched any of the episodes, you see like the gameplay and the edits throughout. Most podcasts don't have like animations, so we tried to get that little extra level, you know. I'm just doing an advertisement of the Dumpster Fire podcast. I mean, it helps, but I sound like a real asshole right now, don't I? Let's just talk about things that I like. So recently I bought 1 month of HBO. Well, I didn't. My mommy did. But couple good movies on there. Godzilla vs. Kong came out yesterday, so there's something I could put in the tags, right? No, Godzilla vs. Kong came out on Wednesday, I think. Yeah. At the time of recording is Friday, and Godzilla vs. Kong came out on Wednesday, I think. And let me do just like a quick like 2-minute review of that movie, so I can just put it in the tags. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say a 6 or a 7. Here's why. And lady, 6 is not bad. 5 is not a bad review. 6 is not a bad review. 5, alright, because people look at it, I think reviews, people look at it like scoring systems at school. If you get a 50 on a test, you failed, right? If you get a 60 on a test, you almost failed, but it's still not a desirable grade. if a film or a video game gets a 6 out of 10, that doesn't mean it's bad, right? Or if it gets a 5 out of 10, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's nothing. Yeah, it's still not good. It just doesn't. But it doesn't mean it's bad either. It just means it's middle of the road, boring, whatever movie, right? And that's what I thought Godzilla vs. Kong was. But obviously, the main reason you're going to a Godzilla vs. Kong movie is the fucking CGI fights, right? And while I was watching the movie, I remembered the Martin Scorsese line, watching a Marvel movie is like an amusement park ride. And I don't necessarily agree with that for Marvel movies, but when I was watching Godzilla vs. Kong, I 100% felt that. I felt like the scenes with the people talking were waiting in lines, and the big CGI monster fights were the roller coasters. And after you ride the roller coaster, you completely forget about the line, because you're just like, I just want to keep going on that roller coaster. But when you go on the roller coaster again, you gotta wait through that line again. So then it's just like, there's a good wealth of CGI monster fights, and I would be lying to say if I wasn't hype. Alright, I'm gonna spoil this movie. I know it's only 2 days. I'm gonna spoil this movie. Spoilers in 3. Skip like I don't know, like 20 seconds if you don't want the movie to get spoiled. 3, 2, 1. Okay. The part where Mechagodzilla got revealed, I was hype. I was so hype, bro. I was like, dude, that was a hype part for me, because I wouldn't consider myself a Godzilla fan, but I just have this Mechagodzilla statue in my room, and I just love it so much, and I love Mechagodzilla. I know, like, if you like Godzilla, you're a virgin, right? And I don't like Godzilla. I like Kong better. But Mechagodzilla, ooh! Mechagodzilla's a Chad, bro. Don't get it wrong, man. Mechagodzilla's the boy. But when Mechagodzilla got revealed, I was really jumping. And yeah, 6 out of 10. Movie's pretty boring, but the CGI fights bump it up a couple points. I didn't think it was all boring. I think like the scenes with like the conspiracy guy and the 2 teenagers, they're trying to find Mechagodzilla. I think those scenes were fine. And I thought the scene where Godzilla finds like his axe and oh yeah, spoilers. Well, I told him to skip 20. I told him spoilers, so like fuck him. I'll put like a timestamp in the description so people won't get mad at me. Skip to this. Fuck it. Alright, when Godzilla finds his battle axe out, that made me really hype. Oh, one more. When Godzilla digs down the earth with his fucking laser to find King Kong, I was like, yo, that's wild. But like, I thought like Godzilla was on top of King Kong, but then King Kong jumps down the hole instead of climbing up. So I realized that this fucking monster dug a hole all the way down the layers of the earth on the other side of the world to find King Kong, and then King Kong drops down and lands up in Tokyo. I was just thinking, like, how does the gravity work? Godzilla would just get stuck in the middle, but it's still fucking awesome. Some people had problems with the visuals, like it was too neon. I like the neon personally, because like, number one, you're in Japan. What else are you gonna do? It's a Godzilla. It's a silly concept. Just on paper, it's a silly concept. So just go over the top with it. All right, no more spoilers. All right, people. This is the spoiler. There's no more spoilers. All right, let's get from one movie to another Justice League. If you don't want spoilers for Justice League, I'm not gonna spoil Justice League. But let's talk about HBO. I think if there were two streaming services that I would get and nothing else, it would be Disney Plus and HBO Max. Here's why. Disney Plus is Marvel, HBO Max is DC. That's the only reason. I watched the entire Snyderverse, and with the exception of Justice League 2017, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked Man of Steel. I liked Batman v Superman. Not loved, but it was fine. It was fine. And Man of Steel, let me just revoke that real quick. Man of Steel was a bit tropey, a bit generic, but I thought it was fine. Batman v Superman was fine. Suicide Squad I have not watched because it's not really part of anything. Wonder Woman, not as good as people say it is. I was really hyped for it. I was hyped. But then I watched it and I just got bored of it, really. I watched the whole thing, don't worry. But I just got bored of it towards the end. It started off pretty good, actually. It started off pretty good. And once it gets to the end, it's just like, I was snoring, man. I checked out towards the end, I'm being honest with you. Aquaman, probably my second favorite movie in that entire thing. That movie's really fucking good, man. I irrationally love Aquaman. It's fucking stupid. It's funny and it's stupid and it's just stupid. And it's like, how do you make an Aquaman movie? Alright, I'm gonna fucking out myself real quick. I'm gonna just out myself, so like put your bully comments down below. I'm gonna out myself real quick. I like Aquaman. Not the old version of Aquaman. I like the new Aquaman with like long hair and he kind of looks like Poseidon, a young version of Poseidon. Not the fucking like white male from the 50s. Not the fucking ideal white male Aquaman. No, he's a square. I like the new Aquaman. He's pretty cool. Mostly because I really love Black Panther. Black Manta. Black Manta is my main in Justice League 2. Black Manta is my all-time favorite DC character, with an exception of Deathstroke and Deadshot. Like, those are my top 3 DC characters. I just love Black Manta too much. But in Aquaman, Black Manta is... I have to be real. Black Manta is probably the weakest part of Aquaman, because you set up his story, right? His dad dies, which I don't even care about because I don't know him. And then like you see the montage of him making the Black Manta suit, and it's like, I was just thinking, like, how does he create an entirely new suit out of Atlantean technology that he doesn't know, that I know he doesn't know anything about? I know he's like an underwater pirate, and he sees a lot of stuff. He saw Aquaman firsthand. But this is just straight up, it's new technology too. They gave King Orm gave Black Manta his latest technology. For me, like, I can't even work a fucking this computer I'm recording this episode on right now. I don't know fucking 90% of the shit going on in this computer right now. And if this guy just knows how to make an entirely new suit out of Atlantean technology, then this guy deserves a fucking Nobel Prize for being the smartest man on Earth. If he just knows. Half that shit is just water. Right? It's just water and goop. So the fact that this guy made an entirely new suit out of water and goop is amazes me. But yeah, Aquaman, I fucking love that movie. Black Manta is the weakest part of that movie. and obviously Zack Snyder's Justice League is the best movie in that fucking series of movies. Yeah. But what about the other DC movies that like don't really qualify as the like phase 1 DC verse, I guess? Even though the Snyderverse is concluded, there's gonna be no more movies, which is sad because this Snyder cut sets up so many things. I'm not gonna spoil it, but that movie sets up so many things, and you're just like, oh, there's gonna be a Snyder cut 2, right? No, there isn't. There straight up isn't. Henry Cavill's not being Superman anymore. Ben Affleck's not gonna be Batman anymore. It's weird because let's talk about Marvel. I thought Robert Downey Jr. wasn't gonna be Iron Man no more, but I looked up on the Black Widow movie, and it says for credits, it says Robert Downey Jr. right there. Maybe it's like a hologram of Robert Downey Jr. or something. But what could they possibly do? I know that everything's ripped from the comics. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm not a good comic book fan. I just got into comic books. Give me a fucking break. You know. I know half you motherfuckers who like the MCU movies haven't read a single comic book in your damn life. I'm actually making an effort. Fucking Shang-Chi. I bought a couple issues of Shang-Chi. Loving it so far. I looked up the cast for Shang-Chi movie. They are nothing like the characters in the comics. Probably just because it's like a new story. And I just got issues from a new story. So yeah, I looked up Shang-Chi on Google. I saw Shang-Chi with like Iron Fist and like Nova and something. But in my issue of Shang-Chi, there's none of that. It's completely original characters set in like, I don't know, somewhere like some China-like place with like Chinese-inspired things happening. But yeah, I'm preparing for Shang-Chi. I'm preparing for the Moon Knight movie. I got some Moon Knight comics completely on accident, because one thing I really like buying when I go to Newbury Comics to buy my comics, I really like buying these grab bags of comics, because you get a lot of comics for cheap, because most comics are like $5, and like when you're trying to get into comics, you want to get like a bunch of them. And if you get a bunch of them, you're going to end up spending like $50. So I get the grab bag because it's a lot of comics for cheap. And you never know what you're going to get. So it's like a fun little game. I like gambling when the stakes are low, right? It's just $7 and I get free and I get some cool comic books out of it, right? But like you get to like rig the system, right? You know the game, right? Once you do your first grab bag. Because my first couple of grab bags, I saw Justice League, a thing called Justice League Odyssey. I'll put a picture up of that. And X-Men, right? I really wanted X-Men comics. Let me tell you, I have a bunch of X-Men comics now. I will not need any more X-Men comics for the distant future. But Justice League Odyssey and X-Men, right? I thought it was just going to be like one issue from a separate series. So it would be like X-Men, one X-Men, maybe two X-Men, and then like an Iron Man or the fucking Deadpool or some shit, you know? But no. The comic book on the cover. Here's a little pro tip for any of you guys who are getting into comic books. If you ever buy a grab bag at Newbury Comics, the comic book on the cover is gonna be what all the comic books are gonna be in there like. Because I got an X-Men one. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see what's in here. I know I have an X-Men, so there's that. I can't wait to see what else is in here. But I did like Pokemon cards. I did 3 to the back. No. But I pulled them out. It was like X-Men, 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 Cable, X-Men, X-Men, X-Men. That's what it was. And for Justice League Odyssey, it was Justice League Odyssey. and then it was like a couple Deathstroke ones, and then Justice League Odyssey. I'm glad that I have every issue in the Justice League Odyssey storyline, but I don't know when the next time I'm gonna read that is, because I'm not the biggest fan of Justice League Odyssey. It's like Starfire, Cyborg, and like some Lantern, and yeah, and somebody else. I don't know. I haven't read any of them. I've read like the first one. I don't know who any of the characters are except Starfire and Cyborg are in. So it's basically Teen Titans minus Beast Boy, Robin, and Raven. And they're in space. It looks cool. I will say it looks cool. It's got like this cool like 80s aesthetic where like it's like hyper colorful. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy is how I would put it. Cuz Guardians of the Galaxy movies are like hyper colorful. They got the 80s, they got the retro aesthetic. Everything's like a fucking 70s album cover. And that's how Justice League Odyssey looks, with like a couple modern shit put in there. Yeah, but I got too many Justice League Odyssey comics. And yeah, so the next time I got some, I still buy grab bags because I still like them. But now I know. So next time I bought a grab bag, I bought a Superman one and a Justice League one, and I got I got a Superman one, yeah, a Justice League one, and an Iron Fist one, right? I'm not a big fan of Iron Fist. I'm more out of like the B tier, out of all the like the B tier Marvel characters. I like Nova the best out of all the, because like here's the thing, all the A tier and S tier Marvel characters are the obviously the characters that are in the movies, right? A tier is like the Avengers, the original Avengers, and no, S tier is the original Avengers, and A tier is all the other characters that are in the movies. All the B tier characters that haven't been in a movie yet, well, I would say all the B tier characters are the characters that have yet to be in movies, that are going to be in movies, like Shang-Chi and the Eternals. I've not read a single Eternals comic. Looking forward to that movie, but also not really. The B tier Marvel, so it's like C tier characters that have not had a movie and will not be getting a movie in the distant future. So out of all the B tier characters, I like Nova the best. Nova's really cool, and it's a crime. It is a crime that they have not given Nova a movie yet. Probably because Captain Marvel exists and Nova is very similar, so it wouldn't make any point if they just added a male version of Captain Marvel, but knowing Marvel, they would probably just make it Nova female. Because Captain Marvel was originally male, for all you people who didn't know that. So, yeah. Nova's definitely not going to be in the MCU. Unless they find a way to kill off Captain Marvel. If then, give like a couple golf claps to Marvel for being so brave. How they would risk it all just for a couple fans who like don't even really care about the movies. But yeah, but I got a B tier Marvel character, Iron Fist. Iron Fist is okay. I mean, like, I know who he is from Marvel vs. Capcom, but like, yeah, that's all I know about him. So I got some Iron Fist comics, and in there I found some Moon Knight comics. Moon Knight, I mean. At first I was like, yo, who is Moon Knight? And then I realized, oh shit, Moon Knight is getting a movie in like, I don't know how many years, but he's getting a movie. So I suddenly got really hyped for getting these Moon Knight comics. So I was like, yo, this is kind of cool, actually, that I get to learn about Moon Knight before everyone else. So while everyone's watching Moon Knight movie, his origin story, I already know this shit. And I prepare myself for the Shang-Chi movie too. Dude, I can't explain how hype I am for Shang-Chi, bro. That's like my most hyped superhero movie of 2021. Like, before that it was Snyder Cut, obviously, but now that movie's out, and now my most hyped movie is Shang-Chi. I think after Avengers Endgame, I told myself, like, alright, I'm not gonna watch Marvel movies anymore. I'm done with superhero movies. But I'm just too big of a superhero fan to stop watching Marvel movies. I fucking love superheroes. I fucking love superheroes. I play Marvel vs. Capcom. I play Injustice 2. Those are two of my favorite games. I read comic books now. And yeah, I binged all the MCU movies one day. So I just like accepted the fact that I'm too big of a superhero fan to stop watching MCU movies. But yeah, I mean, there is some movies that I don't care about, like WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier I have not watched, because I'm just not willing to invest my time into a TV series right now. I don't care about TV series. I mean, I did watch WandaVision secondhand from my mom watching it, and from what I've seen, it's kind of cool. Falcon and the Winter Soldier I've not watched, but from what I've seen from like YouTube videos and from like what friends have told me, they made a new Captain America, and what my friend told me, I don't need to say my friend, it's Liam. Liam told me. You guys know Liam. Liam told me that there's a theory that this new Captain America is supposed to be like the dark version of Captain America, is supposed to set up the Dark Avengers. If that's the case, then that's pretty cool, but also I don't like the new Captain America for political reasons. So like 3, 2, 1, let's get political. I don't like the new Captain America because I see it as Disney trying to whitewash Captain America to keep it safe for the Chinese audience. And here's why I think that. At the end of Endgame, when Captain America gives his shield to the Winter Soldier, I was hyped. I was like, this is really cool. We're gonna get like a black Captain America. This is so cool. I mean, like, we might have gotten a black James Bond. We might be getting a black Superman, and we might have gotten a black Captain America, but that's not the case. So the slimy fucks at fucking Marvel Incorporated, they made this new Captain America. The new Captain America looks like a bitch, I'ma say. Honestly, you can't have these characters that people have known for multiple decades now and just make it a new guy. And disclaimer, my opinion doesn't matter because I haven't seen the fucking show. So don't take me seriously. But from what I've heard from Liam, they've just made the new Captain America just whitewashed. And I don't like that. It's just like, why? What's the next thing you're gonna do, man? What's the next fucking thing? Are you gonna make fucking Captain Marvel a dude now? Are you gonna be like, no, she's out? What's the next thing you're gonna fucking do? I thought they were all about like that fucking leftist style, you know, with Captain Marvel and the fucking new Miss Marvel movie coming out. I thought they were about that life. But apparently they're not about that life because they made Captain America white. And sure, whatever, maybe it is for the fucking Dark Avengers or whatever. But you can't not agree with me that they made him white for the Chinese audiences, bro. With the fucking, with what they do with what Disney does with Star Wars and what Disney did with Mulan, you can't not at least fucking like think about. You can't not at least think about how they made him white. How sleazy of a fucking thing they did. that's gonna do. I'm too flamed. I'm flamed right now. That's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode of me just talking about comic books for the whole episode. Thank you very much for listening to me for 30 minutes. That's gonna be it.